Hi guys, Scatlink here. Welcome to my modding showcasing sub-series, Hats Off to You, a series of which we try out community-created hats, costumes, functions, singular levels, full chapters, or time rifts created by the Hat in Time fan community via the Steam Workshop. This will also include any challenge roads of which will have their own video dedicated to earning ourselves a trophy, of which would otherwise be permanently missed. Whew, what a party to end off the entirety of our 110% plus walkthrough with all achievements and all that. Yep, we are done with a Hat in Time in the main game. It's now just mods until an inevitable DLC rears its head. But yeah, we finished up with online party, and in the last episode of the modding showcase, we messed with the level compiler for a bit to play one of the regular compilated levels that's actually part of a speedrunning event that happened before the game actually released. We're going to take a little bit of a break from this for now, and we've got another challenge road to actually go do that I'm already a week behind, but I was doing other stuff with the channel and taking a short hiatus. We've got Geothermal, obstacle course that for some reason the thumbnail doesn't load in-game, but is existing on the workshop. I don't understand why the game sometimes cannot load those thumbnails. Maybe it's too big or something, I don't know. But low poly heaven as well, which looks pretty awesome to say the least. There are no collectibles throughout all three of these levels. It's just pure platforming goodness like it used to be when the challenge roads first released. And it does feel like it's got back that zeitgeist, to be honest. Probably one of the first ones so far within the last 5. Because last one was a massive one, and even that was messy, and we needed to use another compiler in order to fix it. Geothermal by Star Shoals once again. What do the Mafia need? Geothermal power plant? There, let me read that again, my mouth. What did the Mafia need a geothermal power plant for anyway? Who cares? There's a timepiece in there somewhere. Requires the hookshot, dweller mask, and the ice hat. Well, you need the ice hat to get up here anyway. It's also recommended to bring some water to stay hydrated as it's real hot down here. Or you could just stay with the ice hat to cool off. Made for the temperature themed modding jam. I kind of lost track of all the modding jams at this point. Time Rift Obstacle Course by The Spirit of Hospitality. A time rift featuring a series of small challenges. Requires the ice hat, dweller mask, and hookshot badge. That seems to be a trend. First mod level enjoy, so this must require those 3 items for all these levels. Except for the fact this one doesn't. Low Poly Heaven by Loveby. Or Love By? Not too sure. Loveby sounds better. Have you ever thought that life was better when computer graphics were simpler? Ooh. Ooh. Not always true, but that's a conflicting statement. Take a trip back to those days with this low-definition nostalgia fest. Requires the hookshot badge, but not the others. Pair with the virtual kid costume and nostalgia badge for maximum authenticity. Well, we might go on one of those. We might even try some of the other visual badges to be a little bit more authentic. Except for the fact that our HUD will not comply. I feel like that should be part of it. Maybe a mod could be done to do that. But there's actually something I want to do before we actually hop into these 3 mod levels. We're going to be doing this with a completely different character than Hat Kid for a change. And no, it's not Moustache Girl or DJ Grooves. I would like to do levels that use their abilities specifically. If we come back to our bed, a certain familiar face is just here. You want to swap places with Niko? Yes, I would love to. We have the Knight of the Margin die that is part of the main core game of A Hat in Time, based off of the author of OneShot. Niko is from OneShot, and there is also a separate mod that allows us to have Niko's hat, which makes, well, the character hold the signature light bulb from OneShot. This is as authentic of an experience as you're going to get in this game, and it's 3D as well. Now, if only somebody could potentially, you know, have OneShot as a level mod. That's the only thing we're missing from this complete trifecta. Well, since there's already a trifecta, we need to fill in the missing hole with the Tetraforce. We got the hat, we got the dive, that is official, and we've also got the hat, and the character. Yes, like, the hat is technically an official mod, according to what I can find, But the character isn't. Oh my god, you're dancing while holding it. Let's drop this for a second and move back for a second here. Yeah, Niko doesn't really have any special abilities. Doesn't have any voice clips, but you wouldn't expect that. Just a Hat Kid clone. The exact same moveset, the exact same abilities, exact same physics, hitbox, and can use the hats. There's literally no difference here. However, don't know why I picked this back up, we're going to be using Niko to go through these levels, mainly because the retro one at the end kind of seems fitting for Niko's character. Plus, there's not really any reason to, I just wanted to show that off. Let's hop into our 15th challenge row to get our 15th trophy. So yeah, as I mentioned, we've pretty much done the entirety of the walkthrough project, and now all we got is mods. And to be honest, these three are kind of really good levels. In fact, there seems to be more that meets the eye when you first start off here. Of course, we have 3 lives yet again. We're doing this official this time, but I did abide by my rules for the most part in the long one, but decided to really annoy me. Potentially in the red as heck rift, which I didn't originally find tough. We're on some cliff sides, and that must have something to do with the geothermal power plant over there yonder. We've got a mine shaft here that we're going to have to ride a minecart through. It looks like we might be getting some Donkey Kong Country in this shit. But we can also climb the cliff edge. Ooh, hello there, Niko. We can also climb the cliff edges like we can normally do with Breath of the Wild here. Let me swap back to the sprint hat. I would recommend using the wheel because Niko's hat doesn't actually change. It kind of uses the old Niko hat mod that swaps your hat for other hats. We can actually explore this quite a bit. And someone's actually left a sticker here. There's also a hidden Easter egg right there, which is why that is here. But there's not really any reason to explore. And if you fall, you don't actually take full damage here. You'll just respawn, so you don't have to worry about that. Can we ride the minecart? Nope. Well, this definitely looks explodable, but you can actually get in without actually blowing it up. Drop the frames a bit there, but there we are. What? Okay, Steam. I don't know what's been happening with Steam recently. I was hoping that this would have sorted itself out, but for whatever reason, the Steam big picture mode is not registering that my controller was inputted even though I've been playing up to this point. Thank you for ruining my thing. Hang on, I'm going to pop out and come back in. Maybe that will fix it. Alright, I had to reboot the game again. You see that the boxes are appearing at the bottom of the screen there? That's how they're supposed to disappear. They pop up for a second, then they disappear. Before I started recording, the first one was just plastered to my screen. I managed to get rid of it. Went into a level, went back out of a level in order to start recording, and then randomly it says that it's loaded my controls, even though I already had done. And I was playing as Niko. But yeah, I mean, I guess so you know, yeah, 110% all 3 completion stars. Anyway, let's get back to what we were trying to do without Steam glitching up. For anyone that has actually played or experienced OneShot, considering the nature that we just had a glitch happen, and we're playing as Niko, kind of fitting. Just wasn't intended by any means. Anyway, getting back on track, even though it said that it loaded my controls, even though I was already playing the game, so it had already loaded my controls, so what was with the delay? We've got a mine shaft to go through. The Mafia's mine shaft, and apparently they already had a bunch of heart ponds sent down here in case the Mafia burned themselves, I guess. But we don't need to worry about that, we can just head straight on. Now, you might also be thinking, for those who have played OneShot, why would you take Niko through a place like this? It's because it's a beautiful looking area and it reminds me of the Refuge, funnily enough. And I actually practiced this while playing as Niko, so yeah, and to be honest, it's not the true Niko. I mean, there is a couple of things I will mention about the mod. I'm not entirely 100% with the face, but the person who actually made this mod, this playable Niko, I mean, the thumbnail for when you're trying to download it, it doesn't even say that it's like a playable Niko. It's just like, it says something like, the thumbnail is what represents my feelings on finally getting this right or something. Like, being all confused and all that, trying to get it all to work. This jump is also a pain in the butt, by the way. And I didn't do that right. But thankfully I can jump on this bit and climb up this way. Yeah, the face, he hasn't got 100% either, but as in like all the animations working, but it's still actually well done. It's just that I would have pictured probably a different shape of the head, but then again, you don't really know how Niko would look in 3D, so credit where credit is due. It's still an awesome mod, and it looks perfectly fine from behind, and I would have loved to see like Niko in 3D, and this game delivered, which just kind of heightens my this game being one of my favourite platformers even more so, even though it's got nothing to do with it because it's a created mod. The creators of the game made the modding tools, so yeah, made the game compatible with mods, so it is still on them for making it possible for people to make this in the first place. That's probably the second most tough part of the level. Now we've got some springs that don't launch you very high, which by the way, ice blocks, like sitting in lava, you'd think that these would just literally become vapor, but I guess they're ice-coated rocks, I guess. Or it's magical. You don't know. Or maybe they're not supposed to actually be ice. Maybe they're supposed to be like some sort of adamantite or something. I don't know. Oh, and Niko doesn't actually come with a weapon. I'm just using Sly's hook. Sly Cooper's hook. Just because it's more aesthetically pleasing, I guess. Instead of, you know, the Oathkeeper. Which thematically would make sense. Again, considering OneShot. But as you see, I'm just blasting through this. There's not really much for me to say. It's just good platforming goodness. Just keep an eye on where the hooks are. I say as I almost miss one. But after we just swing in action here, we're actually near the pretty much underneath that building that we saw in the distance, outside. Goes right through up here. And by the way, this just looks trippy because it's so big. You'd think that would burn you by walking on it, but nope. All good. Very nice and visually pleasing, all glowy and whatnot. Very it contrasts well with the purple timepiece from Chandrode. Pretty awesome level, because Star Shoals delivers once again. Since I was blasting through this level on Little Cat Feet, I completely forgot to mention that there was actually a badge seller here, for some reason. I don't know why he's hiding here, it makes him look pretty shifty. And considering, again, that I'm playing as Niko, his glitchy appearance, as I've said before with Margin of the Night die, it's kind of fitting. No spin for this level, and that looks weird. Although I could see Niko wearing that coat, funnily enough. Maybe just don't wear your coat underneath that. Why is this screen so buggy? Oh, I did have it installed. The Quality of Life Fixed Rating screen by Pusron. Or Sauron, with the silent P. I guess it just doesn't work with custom characters and only Hat Kid and Bow Kid, maybe? I mean, I guess that makes sense. Because I haven't actually changed my costume, because I am technically still wearing the Yakuza jacket. If I take that off, would that fix the issue? Oh my god, I forget how deep I gotta go. You know what? Screw it, I'll just put on Margin of the Night. If I'm gonna have a die, might as well make it fitting. As I said, Niko isn't actually affected by dyes at the moment. Don't know if it will actually be added later on, but that is technically our colour scheme, so that should fix the issue. Now this jazz, I forget what game this is from, and it's probably from a game I haven't played, but this is some smooth jazz. I'll be quiet for a bit so you can hear it. Oh, this music! I could literally just stay in this level and listen to the music. I don't know what game this music is from, if it is from a song or if it's original. I want to know. Leave it in the comments below. I think it might have actually been in the mod's description, but it didn't show up in game. We would have to go to, you know, Steam for that. I can't remember it, so, but, I mean, obviously I'll find out after this. But, you know, still awesome. So, we're going to have to do some nice hook shot shenanigans here. That wasn't good. Yeah, that wasn't Niko speaking, but yeah. Do not use that. That's a bad thing. It's a little bit annoying that the first challenge comes that early where you got to jump around the platform in order to get onto this hook. And then immediately you got to double jump to this wall, jump back, and then hook shot, which you do not have to, you know, lunge for. Also, wall now belong to Mafia. What's with that? I think that's custom as well, so don't get squashed by that. This is a bit cumbersome. This is probably the first most difficult part of the level, to be honest. Only because that you've got blocks that move in a very janky motion to throw you off. Probably going to the beat of the song and the dancing. We've also got some bouncy vacuums, but the problem is that one leads to that one, and you've got to push yourself along with the momentum. Because otherwise, you're not going to make it, and the camera doesn't really help. I mean, maybe if I had it auto, but normally you can program it over, right? Yep, I was off course, so I'm going to have to recover. And I got the ledge, so that's a thing. But you're supposed to hit that one below there, hit that one, and then push forward with the momentum and try not to overshoot on those two platforms. Or you could just do this. And make it that way. Which I think is more unintended, but you can do it, so it's fine. And yeah, every checkpoint, they give you more than enough health to recover you for as long as you're on one. So, it's a very fair level for the challenge that it presents. That was good timing, but watch out for this Yakuza member. This is basically the secret boss again that killed himself. You cannot hit that guy, but I have never baited him off the actual ledge to kill himself. So that's a thing. Also, by the way, the eyes glow, just like in the game. I know it's where it would normally glow. Oh, I was not ready. Dang it. I'm going to have to make this jump again. Got to time it. Wait until it's perpendicular. Then we go. And then by the time it rotates back, we should be... I did it too early. Let's go grab a couple of these heart bombs then. There we are. It's right after it clicks from being perpendicular. Like that. There we go. Okay, we're good. That's what I wanted to do. And then I got to do double jump lunge, double jump lunge. There we are. As I said, there were no collectibles in these levels, so all we just got to do is just to do some nice platform goodness. Do not climb up the wall in that direction. You want to make it across through the dweller block, then activate, and then quickly wall climb before your dweller hat mask runs out. That's how we make it up here. You'll end up on the right side, so you don't have to worry about trying to grab only the ledge. Make sure we don't get hit by this fire geyser. Get the ice hat. And then we skip all the way to the opposite side of where we just were. Bap! This sweet jazz just still playing. And Niko's now a mass murderer. Well, not mass, but... Okay, I burned my tush. It's fine. There we are. Niko can handle it. She's been through some shit. Believe me. We both have. Okay, let's hop on here. Yeah, the janky movement can really throw you off, as I mentioned before, but these platforms also do it. These platforms will fall, so we just got to go with the flow, just keep climbing up, and then make a double jump lunge to this hookshot target, where we are safe, and then we are on the final stretch of this awesome level. Although you could probably mask the bottom of the... Well, actually, I think the main game does that, so ignore that criticism. That's the game's fault. Simple platforming to the end here. But we've actually got a bit of a challenge waiting for us at the end here. Thankfully, we've got heart bombs to spare. We've got 3 Yakuza members, and these ones can be damaged. We have to beat all 3 of them in order to go onwards. I just hit 2 at once. These guys aren't putting up much of a fight. I'm able to easily hit them. There we are. Oh! Clip me. It's fine. If things do get a bit hairy, I can just pop on the time stop hat. But I'm doing quite good without using it. 2 in 1! Hello! Don't normally get that. And I did it without using the time stop hat. Look at me. And yeah, they compensate by not making you break the level by having gates that span the whole thing. Just jump to the ledge. And there we are. Done. Told you this one would be pretty short. In fact, we might be able to spend a couple of the tokens that we've been building up since. Ah, the obstacle course gives us a roll. The geothermal power plant didn't. I could not say that for some reason. Also, why is this looking laggy to me? Okay, now it looks a bit smoother. we've got new mods in here, because obviously, because we've beaten the game, and we had a little bit more tokens than we did, we actually had a few spare tokens, because we already cleared out all of the main items in here, of course, with mods as well. I didn't have any mods installed at that point, so it's a bit more fun. You really want me to have that, don't you? You know what, I'm not gonna tempt fate, just give me that. Steam die, kind of fitting. That's why you want to give me that, because this is a Steam based off of social media and stuff, and you can socialize on Steam. But it's kind of ironic considering that Steam was buggering up the beginning of this video. Again, fitting. What's with this video being fitting? I want to know. We'll have a look at that when we become Hat Kid at the end. Okay, that does not work as well. For some reason, we are red. That mod. I thought I didn't even have the mod, but I do have the mod, and that fixes this screen. But I guess it just doesn't like Niko much, because I haven't beaten these levels separately. I only did them in the challenge road, so I didn't realize Niko would break this. Still though, thumbs up. Right, before we actually load in properly here, let me actually check my... Yeah, I've got 4 to spare, so I could probably give a spin or something, see what we get. Just spend the time. In fact, I might just spend all of them, because as long as I have 5, I'm fine, because that's what I finished off with for the main LP, but I don't need to worry about that for now, because we're pretty much done with that, unless, you know, other stuff comes along, but, you know, shenanigans happen. What I want to do is, I do not need that for this, so I'm going to pop on, as it requested, the nostalgia badge, and there we are. And with Niko, this kind of makes sense. We don't even need to make that low poly. In fact, I don't think Niko gets affected by that costume. It doesn't get affected by dyes either. It's not compatible. So yeah, Niko can't have any of that stuff. And I had some weird lag spike there by landing on those rainbow coloured birds. And is it just me, or does this level look delicious as well? I mean, it's kind of funny, since it's kind of inspired by, like, games of old. I mean, for one thing, the hookshot targets are literally just little pyramids that you hookshot onto with a fancy bevel on the top. But it's also kind of weird considering that this is pretty much what Bubsy 3D was, but with better controls. It was just polygons. I mean, hell, the balloons in this level are just gems, which is kind of nice. It kind of reminds me of Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. Still though, this level does look tasty. It does actually have a theme going for it. It's not just untextured polygons that is considered a finished product. And, you know, that was after Mario 64 launched. It's quite a short level. Pretty much at the end already. Very nice, very easy, but also moderately challenging. Challenge road. This is probably one of my favourite challenge roads. And I ran around the bloody timepiece. God damn it. We are done! Since it's low poly, I thought we would see through the eyes of a Virtual Boy. Considering that Luigi's Mansion 3 is a thing, and that reintroduces the Virtual Boy in the Luigi's Mansion canon, might I add, I thought that maybe we would play with this, because I am such a mean bastard. But, to be honest, this level actually lends itself to this particular badge quite well, because it's just nothing but solid colours on a black background. I can actually work with this. This isn't an eyesore, and there's enough shading on Niko to actually make this work as well. This level really works with all the graphics badges, don't it? Except for the fact that, once again, the HUD ignores the badge, which I feel like is a missed opportunity. I feel like that it shouldn't have been that hard to just rasterize and lower the graphics, and maybe just give them a color overlay like you easily can in Photoshop. And this level is hardly long enough to not include while playing with different filters. Question is though, is this going to mess up with the potential spin that we're going to get? That's what I question. Also, I completely forgot to mention that when we're going to be going through it, we'll get another 3 tokens anyway. No, we don't even get a spin here! And, yeah, not only the menus are not affected, but Niko's technically not affected by the badge in this menu either. This menu is completely different. Interesting. Yeah, but this one's fun. In fact, I might go through this one more time just with the Game Boy badge, because why the hell not? Okay, the fade out's a little bit janky, but the shading for Niko here is not as bad as it normally is. We're kind of looking at a silhouette, but also the funny thing is that the Game Boy wouldn't be able to do anything of this sort. Even the NES could barely do 3D. I don't really think there were that many GBA games, or well, Game Boy games that could do 3D. But to be honest, the shading on the platforms is actually a lot more manageable. And this level really does work well. And apparently, because I'm not going to actually grab the timepiece at the end here, I'm just going through again just to mess with these badges that we haven't really used much. And it just seems like the perfect time to do so, as I've mentioned, that even the developer of this level said to do so. There was an update to the game that actually allows you to combine the effects of the badges, and it wouldn't look that bad, so let's try that. So, Game Boy with Virtual Boy. Oh my lord! What the hell is this? This was part of an update! Whoa! And again, this kind of works with this level, because this level's kind of trippy with just platforms going around. This is like Peace and Tranquility, but psychedelic. Peace and a hangover when you wake up, more like. Also, I just noticed there was a weird seam in the top middle of the screen. Something to do with the effect, I guess? Okay, why does that happen? What happens if I take off the... let's stick with the Game Boy for a bit. And let's go nostalgic. Oh no, the effect is the same. What is is this just the default effect when we try to combine effects? Let's try these. Yeah, this is just the effect when we combine it. Wow, I did not realise. Just trying to think. No, it changes. Oh god, hello there. It does change for a moment when paused, but the psychedelic happens if you have any combination of the two badges. So what if we have all three? Nothing happens. Okay, so if you equip more than one of the virtual graphics badges, then you just get the psychedelic effect. You don't actually get anything else out of it. So that's good to know. I'm glad we experimented with that. I just realised that I said that we may be covering other mods with the tokens, but because I've got to go through them again in my own time and record them so we get any potential spins out of these levels, we might have already seen those. But yes, we now have 15 trophies, and I just realised I'm now going to have to play it in the level compiler in order to mark that as complete with an actual timer. God damn it, I can't win. And now I'm recording after the revisits. I am sorry, Niko, for making you feel drunk. But now we have a couple of tokens to use, like an additional 3, like I forgot to mention. Let's give this a couple of rolls, and then we'll change back to Hat Kid and see what we got. Again, this is laggy. I don't know why. Hello, that's psychedelic. You know what? We're just making connections with everything that's happening in this episode. Just give me that. Hey man, Saturday night! Let's equip that. Which I can't see. I'm going to switch back to Hat Kid after this, as I've already mentioned, but we can't check anything. Didn't we already get that? No, that's Facebook dye. Looks similar, but it probably ain't. Probably a different shade of blue. So, yeah, what are these dyes that we are getting? And how many tokens have I got left? 6. You know what? I've got to show them off. I'll leave it for now. Leave some anticipation. Let's get back to being Hat Kid. And let's have a look at what we got so far, because we've got quite a few. And I see you smug dancing. Yeah, that's another thing I need to talk about, actually. Niko is capable of smug dancing, but she don't when waiting here. But probably because she's confused. But Hat Kid's like, I'm chill with it. As you see here. Normally, look how trippy we look, all jazzy, ready for a night out on the town. But yeah, Niko don't do that. And the thing is that Hat Kid normally does the same pose of what the person that you're swapping with normally does. In this case, that's different. So, and there's no need for Niko to actually be here. You could have just had it with the character swap. But it seems like everybody just wants to have everybody available to just talk to and switch naturally without needing another mod in order to do so. But yeah, this is Saturday Night! Saturday Night at the Movies by Hero, a pink and blue neon inspired design with white accents, available immediately. Now, I didn't actually have this enabled, I just remembered that, so that was actually supposed to be in my inventory, and I forgot that I disabled it for online party, but I forgot to re-enable that, and that's why it appeared in the Refuge. Also, can I just make mention that some mods, which is the next one I'm going to get into, the Media Dies by Chev, is a collection of media dies such as Instagram, Twitter, Steam. We got both Crunchyrolls apparently, but yeah, you pretty much got one for everything, including YouTube and Twitch, which is kind of funny. But the thing is, and by the way, the YouTube one is what Crabbar was wearing for the majority of his live stream of Death Wishes. These are supposed to appear in the Rift Roulette, but if I have them enabled, they're automatically in my inventory and not in the Rift Roulette. So many mods that are hat flares or hats or dies that are supposed to be in the Rift Roulette don't show up in there, and I don't know why, unless you disable them. So I'm keeping this one disabled so we get them the intended way. And yeah, we'll just get the intended way. Also, looks like the DeviantArt one, I believe that's what it is anyway, looks quite similar to the Time Stop one, probably without the luminescent. So, maybe we'll get that at some point. But yeah, we've got a lot of media dies to collect as well. However, I think I'm going to stay as this for now, in memory of our pal over here, our friend Niko. We're just going to stand here, and Hat Kid's actually bigger than you. Funnily enough. You've got a bigger head, Hat Kid. But yeah, that was Challenge Road 15, as well as a few things from the Rift Roulette, and we also found out the new update, which gives a new psychedelic drunk effect, like you've just had a fuzzy and you got dizzy from Yoshi's World if you have multiple, or Yoshi's Island, excuse me, if you have multiple of the graphics badges equipped at once. 2 or 3, doesn't matter the combination, that's the effect you get. So, that level was also the perfect level to do it. We've had so many cakes in this episode, and this episode connects to another. So, when next time I go for another mod, or another challenge road, or even another level compilation. See you guys next time for whatever we cover next. See you guys then.